Now let's take you to the Caucasus region now, where Europe meets Asia at Turkey's eastern border. On Thursday, Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan warned of Azerbaijani military buildup along the line of contact in the disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh, as well as further along the Armenia-Azerbaijan border, claims that are refuted and countered by Azerbaijan's foreign ministry. The Prime Minister's claims comes as tensions between the governments in Yerevan and Baku are at a boiling point over the ethnic Armenian enclave of Nagorno-Karabakh, which is internationally recognized as Azerbaijan's territory. In recent days, Yerevan has announced it will carry out joint military drills with the US next week, a blow to its long-standing ally in the region, Russia. For more, I've been speaking to Mher Margaryan, the permanent representative of Armenia to the United Nations.
The buildup of Azerbaijani forces are continuing on the borderline. As a matter of fact, there are footages that are being circulated by Azerbaijani media users themselves. And it follows that over the past few days, Azerbaijan has been accumulating troops along the Armenia-Azerbaijan border and along the Nagorno-Karabakh contact line. And this is all happening against the backdrop of persistent attacks against the territorial integrity of Armenia, military threats, territorial claims, and inflammatory rhetoric coming from Azerbaijan, while also trying to put forward some accusations against Armenia to create certain pretexts. And what we have been observing is a demonstration of an aggressive policy through the use of force and threat of use of force, which are prohibited under international law.
I must insist that the statement from the Azerbaijan's foreign ministry says that Armenia must abandon territorial claims to Azerbaijan to end military political provocations and stop creating obstacles to the peace process, is what their latest statement says. But could you tell us, Ambassador Mher, about the strategic position of Lachen corridor, which I believe is where you allege there's a buildup of more military presence?
Look, it has been almost 9 months now that Azerbaijan has been targeting 120,000 people by keeping Lachin corridor closed. And this deliberate infliction of humanitarian crisis in Nagorno-Karabakh is having a most devastating impact on the civilians, on their livelihoods and health. And we have seen some most alarming reports concerning the rapidly deteriorating maternal health situation, for instance. Thousands of families and young children continue to struggle in conditions of a man-made humanitarian catastrophe engineered and orchestrated by Azerbaijan.
But Ambassador Meher, there's also another finger pointing at Armenia, because the fact that the country is carrying out joint drills with the US next week, it seems to be for many in the international community a step which could be seen as going in the uneasy area of tensions.
This joint exercise with the US will be taking place as part of preparations of Armenia's participation in international peacekeeping missions. And it shouldn't be considered as an extraordinary development at all.
But Ambassador Meher, do you still see Russia as an ally, even as Armenia's own prime minister has been on record saying that the country is making a strategic mistake by relying on Russia for its security?
Well, it's not for me to comment on that, but rather I would want to get back to the issue that is now happening in Nagorno-Karabakh, to the issue of the violations of the international norms and the international rule of law by Azerbaijan.
Ambassador Meher, with all due respect, do you believe that the way Armenia is now dealing with the situation, especially involving the US with the security drills that it's conducting in the region and these warnings from Russia as well, is it sort of also walking back from any hope of a peaceful resolution with Azerbaijan?
Well, Armenia is committed to the peaceful resolution. Armenia has been stating all along that Armenia is ready to establish peaceful relations with Azerbaijan. But what is not happening, it is not reciprocated on the Azerbaijani side. On the contrary, we are witnessing warmongering, we are witnessing further inflammatory rhetoric coming from the highest level from Azerbaijan.
So what's the next step in this situation now?
Yes, let me tell you this, that now the United Nations, the international community, they need to mobilize the preventive capacities to stop and prevent these atrocities happening in Nagorno-Karabakh at the hands of Azerbaijan.
That was Ambassador Mher from Armenia on Newsday.
This is the BBC World Service.